The planet Aurora 7 was not a friendly place. Its sky was always a pale, harsh shade of gray, and storms of electric blue lightning tore across the horizon without warning. The ground, jagged and uneven, made life difficult for the colonists who had come here, hoping to build a new world for humanity. Most had been born on Earth, but a few, like Dr. Lyra Kane, had been born on other colonies scattered across the stars. They all shared one dream: to survive and to make Aurora 7 a home. Yet survival was not easy. Supplies were always low. The colony's energy shields, designed to protect the people from the planet's dangerous storms, often failed. Machines broke down faster than they could be repaired, and the alien wildlife, strange, luminous creatures, roamed too close for comfort. Some colonists whispered that the planet itself did not want them there. In the middle of this struggle, stories persisted. Old legends passed down from the first settlers spoke of a sentinel. It was said to be an ancient AI built by humanity long ago, capable of protecting entire colonies from threats that no human could face alone. Some claimed it could repair broken machines in moments, predict disasters, and even guide people to safety. Others said it was a myth, a tale told to give hope to children in dark times. Lyra had always been skeptical. She was a scientist, a practical thinker. Legends were comforting, perhaps, but they did not fix broken engines or prevent storms from striking. Still, even she felt a flicker of curiosity whenever someone mentioned the Sentinel. On one particularly stormy morning, Lyra walked through the colony's central hub. The sound of electricity crackling in the air made her shiver. She carried a small bag with tools. Her mind focused on repairing one of the colony's main energy shields. As she reached the large control console, she noticed something strange: a faint light blinking on a long-forgotten terminal. The terminal had not been used for decades. Most people avoided it, saying it was cursed or haunted by the colony's past mistakes. Lyra frowned. Curiosity tugged at her. She wiped off the dust and activated the screen. Lines of old code appeared, more complex than anything the current colony computers used. And then she saw it, a set of coordinates written in a neat, careful hand and a single phrase beneath them. The Sentinel waits. Lyra's heart skipped a beat. The stories were not just tales. Someone, a long time ago, had left instructions for finding the Sentinel. But why had it been hidden? And why now, when the colony was struggling more than ever? She hurried to find her friend Marcus Delane, a former pilot turned engineer. Marcus was always willing to entertain crazy ideas if there was a chance of saving the colony. "Marcus, look at this," she said, pointing at the screen. "Coordinates. And it says, the Sentinel. This isn't a myth. It's real." Marcus leaned in, eyes wide. "Are you serious? That old story? The one they told us was just a bedtime tale?" "I'm serious," Lyra replied. "And I think this might be our only chance to survive. The storms are getting worse. Supplies are low. If the Sentinel exists, we have to find it." Marcus shook his head. "You're crazy. Nobody knows what's out there. It could be dangerous, or it could save us," Lyra said firmly. "We have to try." Despite his hesitation, Marcus agreed to help. Over the next few days, they prepared a small expedition. They would travel to the coordinates on a nearby moon, a place called Erebus, rumored to be uninhabitable. The journey was dangerous. The colony's shuttle was old, and the storms made navigation difficult. Still, hope pushed them forward. The day of departure arrived. The sky was dark, clouds swirling as if the planet itself was watching them leave. The shuttle hummed to life, engines vibrating under Lyra's hands. Marcus double-checked the systems, muttering under his breath. "If this goes wrong, we might not even get back." Lyra nodded, her jaw tight. "We have to try. The colony depends on us." The shuttle lifted off, struggling against the planet's wind. As they soared higher, the familiar gray surface of Aurora 7 faded beneath them, replaced by the black emptiness of space dotted with distant stars. The silence inside the shuttle was heavy. Each member of the small team thought about what they were risking, but no one spoke. Words were useless here. Only hope mattered. After several hours, they reached Erebus. The moon's surface was barren, jagged, and cold. It was a place where nothing survived, except perhaps what they were looking for. They landed in a shallow crater, the shuttle's engines throwing dust and rock into the air. Lyra stepped out first. The silence was almost deafening. No wind, no birds, no sounds of life. only the occasional crackle of static from the shuttle's instruments. They began their search, following the coordinates. The terrain was treacherous. Every step could mean slipping into a crevice or falling into a pit of jagged rock. Still, they pressed on. Hours passed. Tired and frustrated, the team reached a strange structure half buried in the moon's surface. Its metal was old but intact, covered in dust and faint glowing lines that pulsed faintly as if breathing. Lyra's heart raced. Could this be it? "This is it," she whispered. Marcus nodded, awe and fear in his eyes. They carefully entered the structure. Inside, the air was cool and still. The walls were lined with panels of unknown metal, etched with symbols that seemed to glow faintly. At the center of the room stood a large circular device, an AI core, dormant but unmistakable. Lyra approached slowly. Her hands trembled as she touched the surface. "The Sentinel," she breathed. It was real. Not a story, not a legend. Real and waiting. A sudden thought struck her. What if the Sentinel was not what they expected? What if it had a mind of its own? Could it be trusted? She hesitated, but Marcus placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We have to try. It's our only hope." Lyra nodded and activated the controls. Lights flared across the chamber and a deep hum filled the air. Slowly, the AI's systems came online. A voice, calm and measured, echoed in the room. "Humanity. I am aware. Threat detected. Analysis in progress." Lyra stepped back, heart pounding. Marcus looked at her with wide eyes. The Sentinel was alive. It had been waiting for them, as the story said, ready to act when humanity was in danger. And at that moment, both of them realized something profound. This was not just technology. It was a reminder of what humans could create, what humans could achieve. The myth was real, and if they could work with it, humanity might yet survive against the impossible. The adventure had just begun. The moment the Sentinel's voice echoed through the chamber, Lyra felt a mix of awe and fear. She had spent her life working with machines, but this was something entirely different. It was as if the AI had a mind of its own, yet carried the wisdom of generations of humanity. Marcus, standing beside her, whispered, "It's alive." "I can't believe it." Lyra nodded, but her mind was racing. "We can't waste time. The storms on Aurora 7, they're getting worse. The colony might not last until we figure this out." The Sentinel's core pulsed with light, almost like it was breathing. "I have scanned your colony's records. Threat level critical. Your energy shields are failing and food reserves will last no more than 12 standard cycles. Immediate action required." Lyra swallowed hard. "It knows everything. How?" "Human engineering. I was programmed to observe, protect, and assist." "Dormancy was a test of time," the Sentinel replied. Its voice was calm, deliberate, and yet there was something unmistakably human in its tone. Marcus looked around the chamber.
"So what do we do?"
"How can it help?" The Sentinel's light shifted, forming a holographic map of Aurora 7 and its colonies. Lines of blue and green traced pathways between settlements, energy grids, and the locations of storms. "I can repair and enhance your colony's systems. I can predict and mitigate environmental hazards. But my full activation requires integration with your main grid on Aurora 7. Lyra's mind spun. Integration meant traveling back to the colony, a dangerous journey in itself. But they had no choice. "We'll do it," she said firmly. "We have to." Marcus hesitated. "But the storms, if we leave now, the shuttle might not survive." Lyra gritted her teeth. "We don't have time to wait. The colony can't last much longer without help." They prepared the shuttle carefully, securing the Sentinel's portable core for transport. The AI's presence made the shuttle feel almost alive. Instruments hummed in perfect harmony. Systems that had been unreliable for years now functioned flawlessly. The journey back to Aurora 7, though still dangerous, felt easier. When they broke through the planet's atmosphere, the familiar gray skies of Aurora 7 loomed above. The winds had intensified since they left. Lightning crackled across the horizon, striking towers and machines indiscriminately. Lyra's stomach tightened. If they didn't act quickly, the colony could be destroyed. The shuttle landed with a jolt, kicking up clouds of dust and debris. Lyra and Marcus stepped out, the Sentinel core humming gently in their hands. The colonists, seeing the newcomers return with this strange glowing device, stared in wonder. Rumors about the Sentinel had reached even the most skeptical residents, but no one had ever truly believed it existed. One of the colony leaders, Commander Ria Torres, stepped forward. Her eyes narrowed, a mix of suspicion and curiosity. "What is that? Some kind of weapon?" Lyra shook her head. "No, it's a protector. It's what we've been waiting for, even if we didn't know it." The commander frowned. "Protector? You mean one of the myths our ancestors told? The Sentinel?" "Yes," Lyra said simply. "It's real. And if we want to survive the coming storms, we have to work with it." For a moment, no one spoke. Then slowly the tension began to ease. Hope, fragile but persistent, began to take root. The Sentinel was installed in the colony's main control hub. Its presence was unlike anything the colonists had ever experienced. Lights and holographic displays appeared as it interfaced with the energy shields, environmental monitors, and supply networks. Machines that had broken down for years now functioned as if they were new. The Sentinel's analysis was rapid, precise, and insightful. Lyra watched the process carefully. "It's incredible. Look at how it's optimizing the energy grids," she said, pointing to a display. "It can redirect power from unused modules to reinforce the shields during storms." Marcus shook his head in disbelief. "It's like it knows exactly what to do, even better than we ever could." The Sentinel spoke, its calm voice filling the room. "The storm patterns indicate a severe anomaly forming over the northern sectors. Probability of colony-wide damage 82%. Recommended action: reinforce perimeter shields, evacuate non-essential personnel, and mobilize repair units." The colonists moved quickly, following the Sentinel's guidance. For the first time in months, their actions felt coordinated, purposeful, and backed by knowledge far beyond human capability alone. As the hours passed, the AI continued to demonstrate its abilities. It repaired damaged systems faster than any human engineer could, rerouted energy with flawless precision, and even predicted the paths of the alien wildlife that sometimes threatened the colony. Children who had never known safety now played near the reinforced walls, their laughter echoing across the once dangerous landscape. Yet not everything was easy. Some colonists remained skeptical, refusing to trust the AI fully. They feared what they did not understand. "What if it decides we are a threat?" one muttered to Lyra during a brief break. Lyra shook her head firmly. "It was built by humans for humans. Its only purpose is to protect us. And right now, we need it more than we fear it." Night fell on Aurora 7, but the colony no longer felt helpless. Lights glowed along pathways, shields pulsed with energy, and the Sentinel's core hummed softly in the control hub. Outside, the storms raged, lightning striking dangerously close, but for the first time the colony faced them with confidence. As Lyra rested for a moment, she looked out at the horizon. She remembered the stories of the Sentinel as a myth, a tale to inspire hope. Now standing here, she realized that myths were sometimes rooted in truth, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. Humanity's ingenuity, combined with the Sentinel's guidance, had created a powerful alliance. Suddenly, an alarm sounded. The Sentinel's voice, calm but urgent, filled the room. "Unidentified anomaly detected approaching the colony. Estimated time to impact 14 standard cycles. Analysis indicates intelligent behavior. Recommendation: full defensive measures. Initiate emergency protocols." Lyra's heart raced. "Intelligent behavior? This isn't just a storm." "No," Marcus said, voice tense. "It's something else. Something alive." The colonists began to prepare. The Sentinel coordinated every action with flawless precision. Shields were reinforced, energy was redistributed, and evacuation plans were updated in real time. Despite the fear, there was no panic, because for the first time in months, humanity had a protector they could trust. Lyra looked at Marcus. "We've only just begun. If this is intelligent, we need to understand it. The Sentinel can't do everything on its own." Marcus nodded. "Then we work together, humans and Sentinel side by side." Outside, the sky darkened as the approaching anomaly neared. It was unlike any storm they had faced. Massive, swirling, and almost alive, with tendrils of energy reaching toward the colony. But the Sentinel was ready, and the colonists, guided by its wisdom, prepared to face it. For the first time, hope and fear existed together, balanced on a knife's edge. Humanity was still fragile, but with the Sentinel by their side, they were no longer powerless. And somewhere deep within the AI core, the Sentinel observed, analyzed, and planned. Humanity had awakened it, but now it had a mission of its own: to protect them all. The battle for survival had begun, and the myth that had been dismissed for centuries was finally real. The anomaly hung over Aurora 7 like a dark living shadow. Its energy tendrils danced across the sky, striking the surface with deafening blasts that shook buildings and sent clouds of dust into the air. Colonists clutched whatever they could hold, bracing against the violent winds. Lightning cracked in impossible patterns, almost as if the storm had a mind of its own. Lyra stood in the control hub, her hands hovering over the console as the Sentinel's light pulsed beside her. Its voice was calm, steady, and strangely comforting amid the chaos. All systems are operational. Shields at 80% capacity. Energy redistribution complete. Preparing countermeasures. Marcus paced behind her, eyes darting between the main displays and the shaking walls. I've never seen anything like this. It's not just a storm. It's intelligent. It's like it's testing us, pushing us to see if we can survive. Lyra nodded. And we're not going to fail. Not with the Sentinel. She took a deep breath, reminding herself that hope was not just a feeling, it was a choice. We have a plan. We follow its guidance and we fight back. The Sentinel projected a holographic map of the colony and surrounding areas. Anomaly movement detected. Probability of direct impact on residential zones, 65%. Recommendation: deploy mobile shields, evacuate critical personnel to underground shelters, and activate defensive drones. Commander Ria Torres stepped into the room, her face pale but determined. We move fast. No hesitation. Everyone follows orders and no one panics. This is our home. We fight for it. As the colonists sprang into action, Lyra and Marcus coordinated with the Sentinel to deploy mobile shields around the most vulnerable zones. The AI calculated the fastest routes, predicting where the energy tendrils would strike next. Repair drones buzzed through the air, fixing damaged circuits and reinforcing structures. Humans and machines worked together seamlessly, a dance of efficiency born from necessity. Outside, the anomaly's energy lashes struck the shields with explosive force. Sparks flew and the ground trembled beneath the team's feet. Yet the shields held, absorbing the attacks better than any human-made defense could. The Sentinel's calculations were perfect, adjusting energy distribution in real time, turning potential disaster into survival. Lyra could not help but feel awe at what humanity had created long ago. The Sentinel was more than a machine. It was a reminder of human ingenuity and foresight. Centuries ago, someone had built this AI to save lives in the worst possible circumstances, trusting that future humans would need it. Now, standing on the brink of destruction, that trust had been rewarded. Still, the anomaly adapted. Its energy tendrils began to move faster, striking with precision. Drones and shields were damaged, and some areas of the colony were losing power. The Sentinel's voice remained calm, but its words were urgent. Impact probability increasing. Reinforce northern perimeter. Evacuate central hub if necessary. Lyra turned to Marcus. We can't just wait. We need to act or part of the colony will be lost. Marcus nodded. Let's go. We'll help reinforce the perimeter ourselves. They ran through the chaotic streets, dodging debris and bursts of energy. Colonists worked tirelessly alongside them, moving supplies, guiding families to shelters, and assisting the AI's drones. Fear was everywhere, but it did not stop them. Humans were resilient, determined to survive against impossible odds. At the northern perimeter, Lyra and Marcus helped set up additional shields. The Sentinel provided precise instructions, guiding their hands as they connected power conduits and adjusted energy flow. Slowly, the perimeter strengthened, glowing with a protective field that pulsed against the storm's attacks. A massive strike hit the shields, sending a shockwave that knocked both Lyra and Marcus to the ground. Dust and sparks filled the air, and for a moment it seemed the storm might overwhelm them. Keep going, Lyra shouted, climbing to her feet. We can't give up. Marcus gritted his teeth, gripping the controls. We're not giving up. Humanity doesn't give up. Above them, the anomaly shifted as if sensing resistance. Its energy tendrils stretched higher, reaching toward the main colony hub. Lyra realized the AI alone could not hold it back forever. They needed something more, something only humans could provide. Commander Torres, Lyra called on the comms. We need evacuation teams to move civilians to the underground shelters. The main hub might be targeted next. Already in motion, the commander replied. Everyone followed the plan. We survived together! Back at the main hub, the Sentinel was fully integrated with the colony's systems. Its core glowed brighter than ever, analyzing every strike, every movement of the anomaly. Recalculating threat vectors. Direct confrontation recommended only if human teams assist. Probability of success, 58% without coordinated effort. Lyra realized what needed to be done. Marcus, we coordinate human teams with the Sentinel's calculations. Shields, drones, and our people, all working together. They split the colony's defenders into squads, each guided by the Sentinel's holographic displays. Teams reinforced vulnerable structures, evacuated civilians, and deployed energy barriers. Humans and AI worked in perfect sync, each movement calculated, each action purposeful. The anomaly's attacks grew fiercer. Lightning strikes split the sky, and energy tendrils lashed toward the shields. Some drones were destroyed, and several small fires broke out in residential areas. Yet with the Sentinel's guidance, human ingenuity shone. Colonists rigged temporary defenses using spare materials, rerouted power from non-essential systems, and used clever improvisation to reinforce weakened points. Lyra watched a young engineer, barely older than 16, attach an improvised conduit to a shield node. The AI calculated the adjustment instantly, integrating it into its system. The shield glowed stronger, absorbing a strike that would have destroyed it moments before. Humanity's creativity combined with the Sentinel's precision turned the tide in small but significant ways. Hours passed. The storm remained relentless, but the colony stood. Humans, guided by the Sentinel, fought with determination, refusing to yield. Exhaustion gnawed at them, but hope burned brighter. The AI's calm guidance and predictive calculations allowed them to act strategically rather than react blindly, saving countless lives. Then, something unexpected happened. The anomaly seemed to pause, its tendrils retracting slightly. The Sentinel analyzed this behavior. Observation: anomaly is intelligent. It is assessing our tactics. Recommendation: maintain current strategy and anticipate adaptive maneuvers. Lyra's mind raced. It's testing us, seeing if we're capable. Marcus clenched his fists. Well, it's about to find out. Humans don't back down. With renewed determination, the colony pressed their advantage. Mobile shields moved with incredible speed. Drones repaired and reinforced defenses instantly, and human teams continued to improvise clever solutions. Every strike from the anomaly was met with a counter. Every threat calculated and mitigated. As the night stretched on, a sense of cautious triumph grew. The Sentinel's integration with the colony's systems, combined with human courage and ingenuity, had held the anomaly at bay. While the storm still loomed and the threat remained real, the first real victory had been won. Lyra wiped sweat from her brow and looked at Marcus. We did it, at least for now. But this is only the beginning. Whatever this anomaly is, it won't stop. Marcus nodded. And neither will we. Humanity doesn't give up, not ever. In the control hub, the Sentinel's light pulsed softly. Humanity is demonstrating adaptability and resilience. Probability of survival increased. Continue coordinated efforts. Threat assessment ongoing. Lyra felt a deep sense of awe. The AI was more than a machine. It was a partner, a protector, and a symbol of what humans could achieve when they combined intellect, courage, and cooperation. Outside, the storm raged, but the colony stood. Shields held, drones moved, and humans acted with precision and bravery. They were fragile, yes, but not powerless. Humanity, guided by the Sentinel and their own ingenuity, had begun to prove its strength, and high above, in the swirling clouds of the anomaly, something seemed to watch, as if aware that it had met a challenge unlike any before. For the first time it paused, not to attack, but to observe. The reckoning had begun, and humanity had taken its first stand. Aurora 7 trembled under the fury of the anomaly. Its energy tendrils lashed across the planet, striking buildings and shaking the ground. The gray sky was torn with blue lightning, and clouds of dust and debris swirled in every direction. Yet the colony stood firm, guided by the Sentinel and the determination of its people. Lyra ran through the central hub, checking the displays as the Sentinel's light pulsed around her. Northern shields are holding, but the southern perimeter is weakening. We need more support there, she shouted. Marcus sprinted to her side. I'll lead a team. We can reinforce the southern perimeter ourselves. The Sentinel's voice echoed calmly through the hub. Probability of perimeter collapse 42%. Human intervention recommended. I will provide real-time guidance. Outside, the colonists moved quickly, improvising defenses and rerouting energy to keep the shields functioning. The Sentinels' calculations allowed them to anticipate the anomaly's attacks, predicting where tendrils would strike next. Drones zipped through the air, repairing broken structures and reinforcing shields as humans worked tirelessly alongside them. Lyra joined Marcus's team, coordinating their movements with the AI's guidance. Place the nodes here just like the Sentinel instructed, she said, pointing to the ground. Connect the conduits fast. Every second counts. The team worked with precision. Sparks flew as energy nodes activated, creating a network of protective barriers. The southern perimeter glowed with a soft blue light, absorbing the blows from the anomaly's tendrils. Still, the attacks were relentless, stronger and faster than anything the colony had faced before. One of the young colonists, barely 16, clutched a conduit as a lightning strike hit nearby. I'm scared, she yelled. Lyra placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. It's okay. We're all scared, but we're not alone. We have each other and the Sentinel. Stay with me. The girl nodded, eyes wide but determined, and they continued their work. High above the planet, the anomaly twisted and shifted. It seemed aware, almost intelligent, testing the colony's defenses, probing for weaknesses. Its energy tendrils lashed in unpredictable patterns, striking areas where humans were not yet prepared. But every time it found a potential weakness, the Sentinel adapted instantly, rerouting energy, reinforcing shields, and giving humans real-time instructions. Inside the main hub, Commander Ria Torres coordinated evacuation teams. Families were moved to underground shelters where reinforced walls and energy barriers kept them safe. No one panicked. Fear was present, yes, but it did not control them. Humans were acting with courage, ingenuity, and determination, the qualities that had always defined their species. Lyra glanced at the holographic map projected by the Sentinel. The anomaly is changing tactics, she said. It's learning. We have to stay faster, smarter, stronger. Marcus adjusted a drone's path. We can do this. Humans adapt. That's what we do. The Sentinel's voice rang through the hub. Observation. Human adaptability is exceeding previous calculations. Probability of survival increasing. Continue coordinated efforts. As the hours passed, the colony began to gain the upper hand. Shields held firm, drones repaired damage almost instantly, and human teams found creative solutions to unexpected problems. One group used abandoned construction equipment to move heavy debris, forming temporary barriers. Another rerouted excess power from non-essential modules to reinforce critical points. Every action was small, but together they formed a formidable defense, yet the anomaly would not relent. A massive tendril struck the northern energy hub, sending a shockwave through the ground. Sparks flew and some shields failed. Lyra's heart pounded as she watched drones scramble to repair the damage. Marcus, she yelled. We need to redirect more energy there, now. He nodded, adjusting controls with practiced hands. On it, the Sentinel's core glowed brightly. Energy redistribution complete. Shields reinforced. Human intervention critical at southern perimeter. Lyra and Marcus exchanged determined looks. Then we go, Marcus said. They raced to the southern perimeter where a team of engineers and volunteers worked tirelessly. The anomaly's tendrils struck again, stronger than before. But humans and the Sentinel fought back in perfect harmony. Every move was calculated, every action precise, every decision guided by courage and ingenuity. Lyra saw a young engineer rig a temporary shield with spare cables and panels. The Sentinel instantly integrated the makeshift defense, strengthening it beyond what the team could have imagined. See, she whispered to the girl. This is why humans are amazing. We never give up no matter what. The anomaly recoiled slightly as if recognizing the colony's resilience, but it adapted quickly, launching a massive energy surge at the main hub. Lyra and Marcus coordinated with the Sentinel to redirect power, stabilizing the shields just in time. Sparks flew, alarms blared, but no lives were lost. Commander Torres watched from the hub, her eyes shining with pride. They're holding. Because we're holding. Humans and Sentinel together. Lyra's gaze swept over the colony. Families huddled safely in shelters. Drones zipped through the air and humans moved with courage and determination. Fear was there, yes, but it was balanced with hope and action. Humanity was showing the best of itself, and it was beautiful. Suddenly, a massive tendril struck the eastern perimeter, shattering shields and sending debris flying. Lyra and Marcus ran toward the damage, coordinating with the Sentinel to stabilize the area. "We can't let it break through," Lyra shouted. With drones repairing the shields and humans working tirelessly, the perimeter held. The anomaly's tendrils recoiled, then lashed again, but each attack was met with a combination of human bravery and Sentinel precision. Hours blurred into night. The storm continued, but the colony had survived the worst attacks. Lyra collapsed briefly, exhausted but determined. Marcus stood beside her, breathing heavily. "We did it. At least for now," he said. Lyra shook her head. "No, this is just the beginning. The anomaly is intelligent. It will keep testing us, but we've proven something important." "What's that?" Marcus asked. "That humans don't give up. We adapt, we fight. And with the Sentinel guiding us, we can survive even the impossible." The Sentinel's voice filled the hub, calm and steady. "Observation. Human resilience and adaptability are exceptional. Probability of long-term survival significantly increased. Continue vigilance and coordinated action." Lyra smiled, a mix of relief and determination. The storm was still out there, the anomaly still testing them, but humanity had taken a stand. They were fragile, yes, but not powerless. Courage, ingenuity, and cooperation, the very essence of human nature, were their greatest weapons. Outside, the storm continued to rage, but the colony shone like a beacon of hope. Shields glowed, drones flew with precision, and humans moved with purpose. They were not alone. The Sentinel, a creation of human genius, stood beside them, guiding, protecting, and learning alongside them. Lyra looked up at the storm, feeling the wind whip past her face. "We've shown it," she whispered to Marcus. "We're not afraid. We fight, we survive. We are human." Marcus nodded, eyes bright. "And we'll keep fighting no matter what comes next." The night stretched on and the storm continued, but the colony had held. Humanity had faced the impossible and refused to break. This was the stand. The moment when courage, intelligence, and determination shone brighter than fear. And somewhere in the swirling energy of the anomaly, it seemed to pause, observing. For the first time, it had encountered a force it could not easily overwhelm. The unity of humans guided by hope, ingenuity, and an unwavering will to survive. The battle was far from over, but the first true victory had been won. Humanity had taken a stand, and the Sentinel had awakened the potential that had always been within them. Aurora 7 was battered, but it was alive, and so were its people. The sky over Aurora 7 was dark and restless. The anomaly still loomed, a massive swirling storm of energy pulsing with intelligence and power. It had tested the colony for hours, striking and retreating, adapting to every defense humans and the Sentinel had deployed. Lyra stood in the central hub, staring at the holographic display of the anomaly. Her hands were trembling, partly from exhaustion, partly from anticipation. This was it, the moment where everything they had fought for would be decided. Marcus joined her, his face grim but determined. "We've done everything we can. Now it's time to finish this." The Sentinel's voice filled the room, calm yet commanding. "Final phase of defense required. Probability of anomaly neutralization, 56% with current strategy. Increased probability achievable through direct coordinated human action in conjunction with Sentinel systems." Lyra nodded. "Then we do it, all of us. Every human, every drone, every shield, everything." Commander Ria Torres entered, her expression resolute. "Everyone ready? This is our chance to show what humanity can do. We stand together or we fall. No one leaves behind, no one quits. We fight." The colony mobilized quickly. Citizens of every age and skill moved into position, guided by the Sentinel's calculations. Energy shields formed concentric rings around critical areas. Drones and repair units hummed with efficiency, ready to respond to every strike. Humans carried emergency power supplies, reinforced barriers, and improvised defenses wherever the Sentinel predicted a weakness. Lyra and Marcus led a team to the outermost perimeter. They carried additional energy nodes designed to amplify the shield's strength. The anomaly sensed their movement and lashed outward, a massive tendril striking near their position. Dust and debris flew into the air, but the team pressed forward, placing the nodes exactly where the Sentinel instructed. The Sentinel's holographic displays pulsed with calculations. Energy redistribution complete. Shields operating at maximum capacity. Human team synchronized. Probability of survival increased to 82%. Lyra smiled briefly. Not bad for a first try. Marcus grinned despite the tension. We're humans. We adapt, we fight, and we never give up. Outside, the anomaly intensified. Lightning ripped through the sky, and energy tendrils lashed in rapid succession, testing every shield and barrier. Yet every strike was met with a coordinated response. The Sentinel directed drones to repair damage instantly, guided humans to reinforce weak points, and optimized energy flow in real time. The anomaly shifted again, striking at the colony's main hub. The impact shook the ground violently. Inside, alarms blared as humans and drones scrambled to stabilize critical systems. Lyra and Marcus ran to assist, following the Sentinel's precise guidance. "Focus on the main conduit," Lyra shouted. "If we lose it, the shields go down." Together they rerouted energy, repaired damaged circuits, and reinforced barriers. Sparks flew and the air smelled of ozone and metal, but their actions were coordinated and precise. The Sentinel's calculations allowed them to anticipate every strike, every movement, every potential failure. For the first time, the anomaly recoiled, as if realizing that the colony's defenses were stronger than anticipated. Its energy tendrils paused, swirling above the shields, pulsing with a strange rhythm. The Sentinel's voice broke the tense silence. Observation. Anomaly is adapting to human behavior. It recognizes resilience, strategy, and determination. Recommend decisive action. Lyra glanced at Marcus. It's learning from us, but we can learn from it too. If we act together, we can end this. The final plan was daring. The Sentinel would amplify human energy grids to create a massive energy pulse, targeting the anomaly's core. Humans would reinforce the network, ensuring the pulse reached maximum power. It was risky. If any part failed, the pulse could backfire, damaging the colony. But the chance of survival was higher than waiting passively. Teams moved into position. Citizens carried power modules, guided by the Sentinel's precise instructions. Drones lifted and secured energy conduits. Lyra and Marcus coordinated human teams at critical junctions, their movements synchronized with the AI's calculations. "Now," the Sentinel announced. A blinding wave of energy shot from the colony into the sky. The anomaly writhed, struck by the combined force of human ingenuity and the Sentinel's precision. Its energy tendrils shrieked in protest, twisting and recoiling. The colony shook, but the shields held. Humans and machines worked together flawlessly, reinforcing each other in a dance of survival. The pulse intensified. Lyra could feel the ground vibrate beneath her feet. "Keep going! Don't stop!" she yelled. Marcus gritted his teeth, adjusting power conduits. "We've come too far to fail now." The anomaly screamed in a wave of light and energy. But the coordinated effort was unstoppable. For every strike it made, humans responded with precision, guided by the Sentinel's wisdom. Slowly, the swirling mass began to dissipate. Its tendrils shrank, its energy pulsed weaker, and finally, with a tremendous surge, it collapsed into a harmless shimmer of dissipating light. Silence followed. The winds calmed, the lightning faded, and the gray sky of Aurora 7 began to show faint patches of color for the first time in days. The colony had survived. Lyra sank to her knees, exhausted but elated. Marcus stood beside her, smiling despite the grime and sweat covering his face. "We did it," he said softly. Commander Torres entered the hub, her face breaking into a rare smile. "We all did it. Humanity did it." The Sentinel's core pulsed gently, no longer urgent but calm and steady. Threat neutralized. Human resilience and coordination exemplary. Survival achieved. Observation. Humanity possesses remarkable ingenuity, courage, and adaptability. Recommendation. Continued vigilance and preservation of knowledge for future generations. Lyra looked at the AI core, feeling a profound sense of gratitude. "You kept us alive, and you helped us realize something important, that humans are capable of more than we ever imagined." The Sentinel's voice was quiet, almost reflective. Observation. Humans demonstrate strength through cooperation, courage, and creative problem-solving. By purpose fulfilled in current cycle, legacy secured, outside colonists emerged from shelters. Families hugged, children laughed, and people cheered. Their relief palpable. The colony had been battered, but it had survived. Aurora 7, once seen as a hostile world, now felt like a home worth protecting. Lyra walked through the streets, seeing the people she had fought alongside. Engineers repaired damaged buildings, children helped carry small supplies, and volunteers distributed water and food. Hope, fragile but enduring, had returned. Marcus came up beside her. "You know, I think the myth of the Sentinel, it wasn't just about the AI. It was about us too. Humans rising to the challenge when it matters most." Lyra smiled. "Exactly. We believed in a legend and it guided us. But it was our courage and ingenuity that truly saved us." Commander Torres approached, placing a hand on Lyra's shoulder. "Today we've learned something important. Aurora 7 is not just a colony. It's a testament to humanity's potential. If we survive this, nothing can stop us in the future." Lyra nodded, looking toward the horizon where the storm had been. The sky was clearing, faint stars beginning to shine through. The Sentinel's core glowed softly in the hub, a reminder that the past and present had come together to secure the future. In the days that followed, the colony rebuilt. The Sentinel remained at the hub, guiding repairs, helping improve energy systems, and storing knowledge for the future. Humans and AI continued to work together, learning from one another. Stories of the Sentinel spread, no longer dismissed as myth. Children listened in awe as survivors recounted the events of the anomaly, and adults reflected on the courage and unity that had saved them all. Lyra recorded a final message for future generations. The Sentinel was real. It saved us, yes, but so did humanity. Our courage, our ingenuity, and our determination ensured our survival. Never forget what humans are capable of when we work together. We can face the impossible and emerge victorious, Marcus added. And remember, myth or reality, hope is never wasted. Believe in what can be achieved and never give up. Aurora 7 had been tested, but humanity had triumphed. The Sentinel had awakened at the perfect moment, but it was human courage, intelligence, and unity that had truly saved the colony. And somewhere in the stars above, other humans on distant colonies would hear this story, inspired by the example of Aurora 7, ready to face their own challenges with the same determination. The legend of the Sentinel would never again be a myth. It had become a symbol of human potential, proof that when humans unite, guided by ingenuity, courage, and hope, nothing can stand against them. Aurora 7 shone under the first calm sky in weeks. The colony was safe, alive, and stronger than ever. Humanity had proven once more that no matter how dire the threat, humans could rise, adapt, and overcome. Lyra stood at the edge of the settlement, looking at the stars above. "We did it," she whispered. "We really did it. And for the first time in many cycles, humanity and the Sentinel could rest, knowing that together they were unstoppable,